All right, welcome. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most intense, jaw-dropping family stories ever told. This is a story about love, about some pretty shocking lies, and about a future that was stolen in a single, heart-pounding moment. So forget reality TV, because this is the real deal. Let's get into Genesis chapter 27. Our story opens with these incredibly heavy words from Isaac. He's an old man now, his eyesight is almost completely gone, and he feels that his time on earth is coming to an end. Now, these aren't just sad words from an old man. Nope. This is the starting pistol for a race to decide the entire future of the family. Everything that happens next is set in motion by this one feeling. And right away, this brings us to the huge question that hangs over this entire chapter. I want you to really think about this as we go. Is it ever okay to lie for someone you love? What would you do? Where do you draw the line? Keep that question in the back of your mind. Okay, let's picture this scene. We're inside a large tent, probably made of dark goat hair. The desert sun is beating down outside, but in here, it's dim. The air smells like old leather, campfire smoke, and the dust of the land. And through that quiet, you hear a voice. Weak, a little raspy. It's Isaac. And he's calling for his son. He's calling for Esau, his firstborn. Esau's the rugged outdoorsman, a master hunter, and Isaac just loves him. He has this one last super important sacred thing he needs to do as a father, give his son the blessing. So he asks Esau, go hunt some wild game and make me that savory stew I love so much as one final act of love before the big moment. Now, we have to stop for a second and understand what this blessing really is. This is not like saying, hey, have a nice life. Not even close. In their world, this blessing was like a legal and spiritual transfer of power. It was a one-time only, no take-backs deal that passed on the family's entire destiny, all its authority, its wealth, and its future. Basically, whoever gets this blessing gets everything. But wait, someone else was in the tent, listening from the shadows. It's Isaac's wife, Rebecca. And when she hears this, her mind starts racing. Now remember, years ago, a prophecy had told her that her older son Esau would one day serve her younger son Jacob. She truly believes Jacob is meant to be the leader, and that her husband is about to make a huge mistake, so she decides she has to intervene. And boy, does she come up with a plan. It's a risky 4-step mission. Step 1, while Esau's out hunting, she'll cook up a similar meal using 2 young goats. Step 2, she'll dress Jacob, who had smooth skin, in Esau's clothes, so he'd smell like him. Step 3, she'll cover his hands and the back of his neck with the hairy goat skins to feel like his brother. And Step 4, she'll send him in to trick their blind father and steal the blessing. This is an unbelievably high-stakes deception. Jacob is, well, he's terrified. He knows this is wrong. He's not some kind of professional trickster. He says to his mom, what if Dad touches me? He'll know I'm a liar and he'll curse me instead of blessing me. But Rebecca is just so determined. She says something shocking. Let any curse fall on me, my son. Just do what I say. She literally pushes him to go through with it. And so, here we are. The moment arrives. Just imagine the tension as Jacob, all disguised and probably shaking, pulls back the heavy tent flap and steps into his father's room. He's holding the warm dish of food, and you can just feel his heart pounding in the thick silence. This is it. There's no turning back now. It's the first test. Isaac, old and blind, immediately picks up on something that's not quite right. The voice. It sounds like Jacob. His senses are firing on all cylinders. You can practically feel the air crackle with his suspicion. And there it is, the first big lie. Jacob says the words his mother told him to say right to his father's face. And in the quiet of that tent, that lie just hangs in the air, a deep and awful betrayal. But Isaac's not convinced. He keeps probing. How did you find game and cook it so fast? And Jacob, who's now trapped, has to dig the hole even deeper. He lies again, this time bringing God into it, saying, because the Lord your God made it happen for me. Wow. This right here is the absolute climax of the whole trick. Isaac says, come here, son, let me feel you. He reaches out with a trembling hand and touches the hairy goatskins on Jacob's arms and neck. You can hear the confusion in his voice. His ears tell him it's Jacob, but his hands tell him it's Esau. And in the end, the physical trick works. What he feels wins out over what he hears, and Isaac is fooled. And with that, Isaac gives Jacob the blessing. And it's not just a small thing, it's a flood of power and promises. A destiny filled with abundance, the best of the earth and the sky. A future where he would be a leader, where nations would serve him, and where he would be master over his own brothers. Jacob has just gotten the entire family legacy. So, Jacob leaves the tent, probably feeling a mix of relief and guilt. And at that exact moment, Esau comes back from his hunt. He walks in triumphantly, carrying the fresh game, smelling of the wild, open fields. He quickly prepares the meal his father asked for and walks into the tent, all ready to receive the blessing he's been waiting for his whole life. He has no idea he's already too late. When Isaac, who starts trembling all over, tells him what just happened, the Bible says Esau lets out a great and exceedingly bitter cry. Just try to imagine that sound. It's not just a yell of anger. It's the sound of a person's entire world shattering. It's pure heartbreak. It's the shock of being betrayed by his own brother and mother. It's the sound of losing everything, in an instant.
Esau begs his father, "Don't you have any blessing left for me?" But there's nothing left to give. The tragedy is so clear when you put their futures side by side. Jacob got the dew of heaven, but Esau's life will be away from it. Jacob gets the fatness of the earth, but Esau gets a life away from it. Jacob gets to rule, and Esau, well, he has to serve his brother. His blessing is just a painful echo of what was stolen from him.
And in that moment, something inside Esau just snaps. All that heartbreak and pain curdles, and it turns into a deep, cold, simmering rage. The family isn't just fractured by lies anymore. Now it's poisoned by a thirst for revenge. He makes a chilling promise to himself. He says, "The days for mourning my father are near. After that, I will kill my brother Jacob." He'll wait out of respect for his dad to pass, but his plan is deadly serious. The deception has now led to a death threat. Well, word gets back to Rebecca, and she realizes the absolute disaster her plan has created. To save her favorite son's life, she has to send him far, far away. So Jacob, the boy who just received the blessing of home and power, is now a fugitive, running for his life. The family is completely broken. You know, this incredible ancient story isn't just about something that happened thousands of years ago. It's like a powerful mirror that shows us things about our own lives and our own choices. In Jewish thought, we have this idea called midot, which are basically our character traits, the parts of ourselves we can actually work on to become better people. So, what's the challenge for us from this story? This entire chapter is a powerful, painful answer to that very question. What we see here is that deception, even when you think you're doing it for a good reason or for someone you love, it acts like a poison. It absolutely shatters trust. It tears families apart. It creates wounds that can last for generations. In the end, a blessing was won, but a family was lost. So our midot challenge for this week is all about practicing emet, the Hebrew word for truthfulness. It sounds simple, but it isn't always easy. Here's the challenge. Every day this week, try to find just one moment where a little white lie or a small excuse might feel easier, and choose to be completely honest instead. And just notice how it feels to stand in the truth and to build the kind of trust that this family so tragically lost. Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.